In Arc Raiders, the longer you stay in a match, the lower your chances of survival. My goal for every loot run is simple. Hit 80k in under 10 minutes and get out. Now look, sometimes I'm looking for a fight, sometimes I'm just looking to soak in the map and have fun, but when it's time to fill up the bank, these are the 20 rules I live by. Following up on my first 10 rules of player engagement, today we're focusing on the 20 looting rules I follow to stay mobile, efficient, and impossible to corner. But you can't be fast if you're constantly looking over your shoulder. Chapter 1 is about locking down your surroundings so you can loot in peace. Chapter 1, the anti-ambush blueprint. Rule 11, key room intruders equals shoot on sight. If you use a key to get a special loot area, that loot is for you. Any raider that is not on your team that enters a key room without announcing themselves is shoot on sight. It's your loot. If they announce themselves, they'll know in proximity chat that you are there unless you want to ambush them. And if you do tell them, say the loot is taken. Rule 12, use our tech as your alarm system. Don't just look at turrets and cameras as something you need destroyed. Treat them as passive intel. If a turret fires or a camera buzzes behind you, that's your cue to leave. You aren't staying to fight, you're here to loot. So you're using those seconds to maintain out of sight. Leaving poppers and fireballs in an area nearby also helps, such as the first level of the control tower of Dam. Those both buy you valuable seconds to escape, allow you to keep your alert focused on less potential ambush areas. Keep in mind though, if you snuck by them, other raiders can as well, but they usually don't. Rule 13, fortify entry points with mines and traps. This works particularly well in rooms with one entrance and multiple exits. Town Hall on Buried City is a prime example. Once you get in there, barricade the door and place either a stun or explosive mine, or both depending on your playstyle. This acts as an alert if you want to run away and buys you time, or you could use it to kill someone as they enter if you like player combat. Rule 14, use the environment to buy seconds of time. This may sound obvious, but it's easy to forget. Any hurdle that gives you even a few extra seconds can help keep you alive. Closing a door doesn't just keep Arc out, but also slows down raiders and keeps you out of sight, and it forces a raider to make a sound cue to give away their position. You can also use this to establish friendly contact or set up an ambush. Also, platforms and maps such as Dam and Stella Montes to cross gaps. Lift those up to buy you 5-10 seconds of time and keep your distance from raiders. Rule 15, solo, announce yourself to avert PvP. If you're in a less hostile server and haven't been knocking raiders on site, you can typically announce yourself in looting areas with very little chance for hostile players. This works particularly well if there are multiple raiders looting in the same area, as they're less likely to start a fight when people will generally team up on them as the aggressor. Chapter 2, the loadout and value logic. To hit an 80k target, you need the right gear and right priorities. My loadouts usually cost around 20k to field. Here is how I maximize every slot in my bag. Rule 16, higher rarity kits are always worth the risk. I spend more on my kit to make more on the run. An MK2 blue bag is the difference between a 40k extract and an 80k extract. If you aren't bringing better gear, you aren't saving money, you're capping your profit. If you're still running free kits, you only have 18 slots and 35 kilograms to work with. You'll fill it up before the match even gets interesting. You want to get into the blue MK2 looting kit to help make sure you get the extra money, as you can buy it from Lance Clinic from the start. It jumps you for up to 28 slots and significantly increases your weight limit. It gives you the space to hoard high valuable stacks while keeping your gear costs low enough to maintain massive profit margins. For those looking to push even further, MK3 Caution Kits is the ultimate looting machine. There's other ones you could craft, but we're not going to cover those. With 31 slots though, at 70k limit and 2 safe pockets allows you to carry almost double a free kit can. If you aren't PvP focused, go with looting kits. Since you carry more stacks, move faster to the lower weight, it's worth the risk of having less armor. You're betting on your ability not to get hit in the first place. Rule 17, maximize profit, prioritize blues and trinkets. In an 80k run, your inventory slots are real estate. The green item is junk. Unless you have a specific quest or crafting requirement, drop the green for any blue trinket or item. At 1,000 credits per slot, multiple stacks, a full MK2 bag will hit you 80k easily, especially if you have a pink item or two. If you fill it with greens, you're wasting money. Greens are only good if you know there are similar stacks or items nearby, or you're getting ready to leave and you have extra slots to fill. You can typically buy the basic upgrades with seeds in the Raider shop anyways, so not all blues and greens have the same value. Get familiar with how much they are worth. Typically you want at least 1k blue item and 1 to 2k per trinket. Also, green and above weapon attachments are worth taking as they don't necessarily take up space always. You can add them to your currently equipped weapon, you can add them to other weapons by swapping them in and out. It saves space, you get extra value. Rule 18, when you're not looting for pure value, track your resources. Money isn't everything if you're still building your base. If you still need to upgrade your workbenches or craft blueprints, tag those resources. Tracking them gives you a visual ping in-game, letting you know that a specific item, even if it's low value, is worth more to your account progress than a blue trinket or item. Once your base is maxed, you can flip back to money-only mindset and only tag the items you need for specific crafting. Keep in mind that Stella Montes is an exception. Many items there break down to raw materials that cannot be tracked. So you need to rely on your in-game knowledge for that map to know what items you need for your specific blueprints and crafting. Rule 19, pro inventory hacks, run, loop, and themes. Access your inventory while running. There's no need to stop to check your bag, and you'll see it again while looting. Also find a loot area theme to help with stacking components. For example, looking specifically for industrial, electrical, or medical items, if you pick up a syringe, you can stack up 5 of those for 2,500. If you find only one and you find a better blue, it's better to toss it and move on, such as an arc motion core. I put my lower value inventory at the top of my bag to help me know what to toss without thinking. Taking too long to optimize puts you at risk of being shot and makes the raid take longer. Finally, add items to your quick use, such as Wasp, Hornet, and Stitch Strides that helps free up space. Rule 20, build your loadout around your priorities. When building a loadout, think about what you want to accomplish. Loot value means taking up less space in the raid, prioritizing speed and space. My core kit always includes a silencer, adrenaline, heals, and extra recharges, so I never have to slow down. I usually take one weapon, such as a kettle, and only the ammo for it. This allows for a second weapon if I find to go to my empty slot, and I start the raid out with much less weight. The weakness is that if I take light ammo, arcs such as hornets and fireballs will be harder, but they can be avoided. If you're hunting bastions, you'll need more smokes, ammo, explosives, which means less space for loot. Chapter 3, Arc Hunting. In Arc Raiders, the loud raider is usually a dead raider. If you're hunting for Arc, those are high value parts. You have to do it fast before every other squad on the map targets you. Rule 21, burst large Arc to avoid third parties. If you're looting heavy Arc, make sure to kill them quickly. The drawn out battle makes it likely other teams will ambush you for your loot. A few wolf packs or deadline mine usually does the job. Rule 22, smoke and loot large Arc. Bastions and bombardiers have a lot of parts and can take a while to harvest. Make sure you have adequate inventory space before engaging. Raiders will typically try to ambush you while you're looting these, and smoke grenades make it harder for them to shoot you. The main thing you want to watch out for is grenades thrown into the smoke. If that happens, toss another smoke grenade and plan your escape or reposition for a counterattack. Rule 23, consider a loot of opportunity. Arc couriers and surveyors are targets of opportunity that can have blueprints and other valuable loot. But don't let a few extra 1,000 credits cost you an 80k haul because you stayed an extra 30 seconds to loot. Chapter 4, how to never get cornered. The moment you start getting into loot mode, you have a target on your back. If you aren't planning to exit the moment you walk into your entrance, you're already dead. Let's talk about mobility. To pull this off, you need the movement meta. Always holster your weapon while sprinting for max speed. Grab the bottom of zip lines and ladders for instant descents. Grabbing ledges while jumping off high areas prevents fall damage. Rule 24, adrenaline for blitz runs and escapes. Being the first to high loot locations is ideal. At the start of the match, you want to do full sprint to your closest hotspot, whether it's the Red Tower, pharmacy, apartments, or hospital, such as Buried City. Having adrenaline shots help you escape fights. No one can keep up with you if you're boosted. If you don't want to fight, just run around, prioritizing corners, open space, and timing your shots. Getting extraction alive is much easier when you can run across open areas without worrying about stamina, and being first in areas less likely to have conflict. Rule 25, master all escape and ambush routes. Keeping track of how you get in and out of a loot zone is vital. If one door opens, exit through door option number 2 or 3. On Stella Montes, those tight hallways are death traps. Loot those rooms fast and get out. Always use verticality to your advantage. Spots like Buried City have rooftops and balconies to break line of sight instantly. Be prepared to fight raiders when you engage in high reward areas with limited exits. Chapter 5, the final push, knowing when to extract. The most dangerous part of the raid is the last 3 minutes. This is where greed kills. Rule 26, never wait for a late game extract. What's the point of loot if you don't get out alive to keep it? Lift and subway extracts are prime spots for campers, especially when the timer is getting close to 0, or for that extract. Don't always target the extract closest to you. Look at the timer, consider the ambush zones, and make your way out early. Raider hatch keys are great for extra safety on big runs. Remember that you're losing profit by using those. Rule 27, abandon dry runs and re-queue fast. Sometimes you start your run late, or your planned spots are already hit. You could do random loot and get lucky, charging whatever you can on the way to the closest extract, getting out and going right back in. Rule 28, set your target value and panic extract. Set a value for every run. In a solo match, hitting 50-60k is easy and usually requires 0 inventory management. My goal is usually 80k, which is the sweet spot for efficiency. You can push for 100k, but at that point, if you're spending more time with inventory management than actual looting, that puts you at higher risk for being ambushed. Knowing what you want to accomplish, how much time you have, lets you know exactly when to pull the trigger on extraction. If your bag is full of solid value, don't get greedy, just get out, bank the credits, and get right back in. Rule 29, dump ammo and adrenaline for maximum value. It's okay to dump extra ammo and cheap items to get the little extra loot value at the end. I usually take one weapon like a kettle, 150 to 200 ammo. As you get closer to extraction, consider dropping a stack of ammo to make room for one more loot item. Rule 30, chit chat is nice, but secrets die. It's fun to brag when you find an awesome blueprint or item, but keep in mind that everyone in this game is a temporary friend, even random teammates. If you mention your high value gear at an extract, the stranger might decide to turn hostile. If you're with randoms, they might think twice about reviving you. If you do get knocked and die, you can then let them know that you had something nice. Skills that are key for loot runs. You have the rules and strategy, but your character build needs to support the pace. These are specific skills I use to carry the weight of an 80k haul. Mobility. You got nimble climber, marathon runner, beautiful lungs. Climb fast, run fast, but more stamina. Survival. You want broad shoulders. It lets you carry more weight. Security breach is nice, but less reliable now that locations have shifted. Looter's instinct and looter's luck help you loot faster. For conditioning, you want loaded arms. Save weight the weapons you equipped. Proficient prior saves time on every door, crate, and arc carrier breach. Those are the 20 rules I follow to keep my bank full and my raider alive. It's all about hitting the 80k target, staying out of sight, and respecting the 10-minute window. One last thing I can't prove, but rumors are that if you have a rubber duck in your stash, you get better luck. Can't hurt to try it, right? If these rules helped you, or if you have any looting rules of your own, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you next one. Sub for more salt.